Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, that's some good shit. I always like the man, like Bleach is like doing so fucking good right now, man. I just like tweeted earlier that I just tweeted earlier, or oh, I think it was like earlier in the week, that earlier in the week. Yeah, it was earlier in the week. Fucking god, I'm losing like my train of thought already. It was like earlier in the week that I was watching the latest episode of, there you go, the latest episode of the Rurouni Kenshin remake, and I was like, yeah, I kind of don't feel like the same way as what I do with the old one, right? Because, you know, I tweeted this out saying, yeah, the new arcade Rurouni Kenshin anime looks very crisp, it looks nice, it looks cool. However, it just feels like something is missing, you know? And then I immediately go back to like old school Rurouni Kenshin episodes, and I feel so fucking giddy and happy. That's like, oh my god, wow, old school Rurouni Kenshin is fucking fire. It's got like memorable like voice actors that you could go back on and find like some laughs and like, you know, some emotional resonances. You got old school like OST, and you got like, you know, the old school like animation style, which made it, you know, it's of course, you know, subjective, right? Both look crisp as hell, but I always prefer like old school animation more than like new ones. It looks like to me it just looks like some smoke and mirror shit, you know? And then I compared the RK anime, the new Rurouni Kenshin anime, to like Bleach, because Bleach was like a thing, right? And I love like Bleach episodes because this is like the final arc, right? They did not like hold back on like the Bleach anime. Actually, this is the wrong song. But it was really interesting because I find more enjoyment just watching the new Bleach episodes than I do with the RK anime, right? Like I said, Bleach didn't like hold back on their shit when they were like coming out, you know? For them, oh my god, 3 tweets? What the hell? Oh, that was it. Okay, that's cool. For Bleach, like they came back with like such like ferocity that like the animation looks good. They definitely do be like skipping some parts, but at least when you watch the Bleach anime, it feels like you're a Bleach fan, you know? Like even after like 10 years or something, right? Bleach is still Bleach, and it's still awesome to see that, right? Even with like the new cast of villains. But anyway, that was just another thing. We are here, and we're gonna be talking about Kamen Rider, right? It's now Toku time. It's now Toku time, my fellow Kamen Riders, my fellow Super Sentai affiliates, right? Oh shit, Nico ne? Wow! Yo, what's up, James? So, we are here because Kamen Rider Geats, the latest Kamen Rider season, just ended, right? You got my homie on the fucking right over here, Le Ace Ukyo, right? The most chaddest of chads, right? Well, oh shit, that's like spoilers already. But Kamen Rider Geats, one of the most recent Kamen Rider seasons, just ended its episodes yesterday, right? It ended its final episode. Final episode yesterday, right? And what better way to celebrate Kamen Rider Geats than doing our usual Toku reviews, right? I got my appropriate attire, my Kamen Rider shirt, right? I should probably get like a Geats t-shirt or something like that. I don't know how much that is. It's probably like $30 flat rate on Amazon, so it shouldn't be that bad. Like I got my like what was it, my return fee from Amazon, which is funny though because I say that and like I got like what was it, a return order for like a battery pack because I was at that time I was dealing with PC stuff for like a battery pack and a display port. But then I later found out that like just cleaning the rig was, you know, the solution. I'll probably test out like that on Wednesday. Inshallah, hopefully it doesn't crash. I'll probably clean the fans prior to the stream. But yeah, like I ordered those things because I was just like scrambling for solutions. But then I realized I need like money, so I returned those shits back to Amazon, and then it was returned to like an Amazon like gift card. So I didn't see it in my debit card account. So I called Amazon and said like, hey yo, what the hell? Like not in those like words, right? Because I had to be polite. But I was essentially saying, yo, what the fuck, man? What happened to like my account? And then they situated the problem that it was sent to like an unknown like gift card. And so maybe I clicked something accidentally or something. So the money got transferred from that gift card to the account and I was all Gucci. And, you know, because I got my money back and now that the semester will be rolling on by, I'll be earning more moolah than ever, right? Going to be academic coaching more classes, so more money in the bank. So I got like a long overdue like list of things to buy, right? Especially Toku related, right? I need to get like some Megazords. I need to get some Morphers. I need to get some things, right? I need to fill out this fucking table. But that's besides the point. We're here to review Kamen Rider I almost said Revice. We're here to review Kamen Rider Geats, right? The latest season that ended just yesterday, and what better way to celebrate Le Kamen Rider than today, right? So, this is like what? What is like the number? This is the 4th Reiwa season, right? And this was kind of like no. Revice was technically the 50th Kamen Rider season with a lot of like references calling back to earlier Kamen Rider references, right? So that was cool, but now we enter like this new Kamen Rider, and the motif for this one is, you know, think Fortnite meets Apex Legends. They kissed and maked out with each other, and what spawned is Kamen Rider Geats, right? This is the whole premise of Kamen Rider Geats, is that there is a battle royale, right? And in this universe called the Desire Grand Prix, right? And you have contestants that are chosen to be Kamen Riders, and they duke it out with one another until there is one left standing, and whoever wins the Desire Grand Prix gets their desire written out on a card, and their wishes come true, essentially, right? And whatever wish that may be, right? Like if you want to wish $1 million or end world hunger, that's what the Desire Grand Prix is for, right? And that's like the premise, right? So we haven't gotten into like, you know, the intricacies or like the characters yet, right? We're just going over, you know, basic impressions, right? As far besides like the premise goes, Kamen Rider Geats. Oh shit! Right. Sorry. There you go. I forgot. As far as impressions go for this new season, right? Because last time we did like a full review of Kamen Rider, it was, excuse me, it was Kamen Rider Revice. Yeah, Revice. I said it was like, I'll have to like look back at the video, but I think I said it was an okay season, right? I do love like the characters there. I do love Vice, especially my boy. But it got hella soap opera-y toward like the very end, and that was when like I fell off of Revice and I just didn't like it altogether. It was a tearjerker at the very end, like it paid off at the very end, but it was like, oh my god, can these guys just please like get on with it, right? Like this could have been solved like 5 or 6 like episodes ago, you know? But in here, right, Geats is like a different take, right? And that's because like Geats, to me, kind of feels like carried by the characters, right? Like the plot slash narration of Geats is like, I would say so far okay, right? Like it's got a good like start with all of these like mysteries about like the Desire Grand Prix and everything, and like all these like intricate like cast of characters. But then like towards the very end, it got, what was it? Would I say like kind of preachy? No, I don't think so. I guess it just kind of hammed up, right, some like later themes about Kamen Rider Geats is what I can say, right? And of course there is also some like questionable like writing involved in later episodes, you know. But essentially like this like season is kind of carried with like the strong and impressive choice of cast, right? The Kamen Riders here are flavorful, they're dynamic. They sometimes, you know, argue against themselves, right? They argue against within themselves, right? What they like, you know, want to have and like desire, right? But it still like pays off for, you know, the characters are super intricate, right? Of course, number one being, you know, is the main rider, right? There are like a few riders that I really like. I mean, of course, the main 4 riders, right? Because the main 4 riders are what really like carry the progress of Kamen Rider Geats forward, right? And we'll go over like each one, right? But you know, but the main one is really like, you know, to no pun intended, like the highlight of the season, right? Always been a highlight. He's just so much like fun to watch, you know? Oh shit. What else, right? Oh, this review is not going to be including the one movie that the summer movie, because every Kamen Rider always has like a summer like in-universe movie. There's always like what, a crossover movie at winter, and there's always a summer movie that's just about the in-seasons universe, right? So we're not going to include the what was it, the 4 Aces and the Black Nine-Tailed Fox, right? Because that shit is still in theaters, unfortunately. We'll still have to like wait for the Blu-ray, but there is still some like very important plot stuff in the summer movie. We are going to include the what was it, the crossover movie between Kamen Rider Geats and Kamen Rider Revice if we have like time and energy to do so. But we'll just primarily go through the seasons because that's what the main action of Kamen Rider is, you know? Unless like, you know, the crossover previous Kamen Rider carries into the season. Then yes, that would be it, you know? But we're not gonna be dabbling too much into the movies or like, you know, the specials. The specials are also there, but they're just pretty much, you know, to sell you toys or just some like, you know, rompy like comedy, like away from the very serious heavy motifs of Kamen Riders, because that's what like KRs are originally, you know, supposed to be ever since like maybe even the 1971, and to a more like, you know, a boomer set of mind, almost like Kuga, right? They're just, you know, drama series at the very end, right? That's what like most of the Kamen Rider is nowadays, right? Is that less of the story and more of the merchandise, right? It got especially so with like, you know, in the Heisei era, Phase 2 era, and then the Reiwa era, right? Just want to sell those toys for like young shonen 10-year-old kids, right? Could be guys and could be boys and girls, right? But yeah, let's like get started with like, you know, the spoilers, right, Mark, right? So this is the reason I put up like, you know, since the Kamen Rider season is so big, I want to start organizing myself so that I can be better organized. I'll say it twice. Organized, right? In terms of like my flow of reviews, right? So, right, I think we talked about the first episode premiere of Kamen Rider Geats, so that gets thrown out the window. So we'll get into like the meat and the bones of Kamen Rider Geats. That goes from like episode 2, from 2 all the way to like, what was it? What's the final episode count? 49, right? So, right, we finished off of like episode 1 last time we did like this Kamen Rider Geats like thing, and now we have like a whole gaggle of Kamen Riders, right? And for Kamen Rider Geats, they are broken down into different arcs, right? So in the wiki, right, and I'll be using this as a reference, there is the Daybreak arc, which consists of only 2, which makes sense because Daybreak arc, it consists of like the first episode and the final episode, which will explain why. Then you have episodes 2 to 9, which is the Encounter arc, 10 to 16, which is Conspiracy, 17 to 24 is Divergence, 25 to 32 is Lamentation, 33 to 38 is Yearning, and 39 to 48 is Creation, right? So these are going to be the different arcs for Kamen Rider Geats. So let's start off with the Encounter arc, right? So this is like, if memory serves me right, yeah, that's what it is, right? So this is just going to be like an impressionistic impression of the Desire Grand Prix, right? I said earlier before that the Desire Grand Prix is a battle royale competition between different riders, but also the creatures that the Kamen Riders fight, right? The Jamato, right? And in the Encounter arc, we do not know anything of the Jamato, right? They are just like, as what we see at this point in time, monsters created for the sake of the game to for the rider competition, right? And we got different riders, right? We got Sakurai Keiwa, right? A man whose wish is to have world peace. Then we have Kamen Rider Nago, right? Kurama Neon, right? A live streamer, right, slash idol that wants to seek out true love. And then we have Kamen Rider Buffa, an angsty little boy whose wish primarily is to destroy all the Kamen Riders, to crush the Kamen Riders, right? And everyone has like their different agendas, and then we have like different extra riders that are there for just, you know, plot slash carry for the main 4 riders. Kamen Rider Geats, Tycoon, who's like Sakurai Keiwa, Nago, and Buffa, right? And they consist of like, you know, characters from different fields, right? They are chosen by Kamen Riders of, you know, who the game master of these Desire Grand Prix are about, right? Who the game masters of these Desire Grand Prix deem worthy, right? And it doesn't have to be anyone who's like athletic superiority. It can be, you know, a salaried businessman or a shady businessman or, you know, some very like extreme extremities, you know, like a serial killer or a rapist. It's chosen at random, right? What they like see, what they like deem, what the game master deems worthy, right? So anybody of anybody can partake in this like Desire Grand Prix, you know? So we have extra side characters in this encounter arc. Kalo, I'll try to remember. Kalo, Dapan, Medi. I think that's like some of them because like these characters are just, you know, whatever. Only like a few of them come back in like later arcs, right? But they're there to serve as, you know, tools to carry the main 4 Kamen Riders forward, you know? But in the encounter arc, it's some like crazy shit, right? We got I've been talking about like businessmen, but there is like one rider that's like, damn, Kamen Rider really went that far? Is that we have someone that's like a school shooter. Now that could be like a sensitive topic, like at least like on Twitter or Twitch or YouTube even, right? But I mean, it's the Kamen Rider season, right? We gotta talk about like characters and whatnot, right? But this season literally added like a entry Kamen Rider entrant, right? In the form of a school shooter, right? His backstory, his wish is that he wants the world to suffer because his backstory, Dapan's, right? I think it was like Dapan's, let me see. Conditions for victory. Kanada's, yeah, Dapan. Yeah, that was him. Yeah, what was it? He was a high school tryout for a basketball team, but he was run over by some random like truck driver. He quit basketball, but he's a spiteful bitch that he saw everyone else being happy, so he doesn't want them to be happy, so he wants to bring a gun because of his own miserable fucking life. Like, that's his background. He's a fucking salty, spiteful bitch. Fucking... Yeah, but... he's just like, you know... he unfortunately, like, comes back for just, like, one episode. That's it. But then we have, like, a cheating, like, gambler. Kamen Rider Medi. We have someone who like dies in like in the very like second episode. Kalo, like he entered the tournament, he entered the battle royale just to like save his son because of high medical bills, you know. But it's crazy, all walks of life, all different like categories, and they're like there to boost the 4 characters, right? And we get to see like the preliminary actions of these like 4 characters, right? We have Geats, right? And I think I spoiled this like a little bit before, right, in the beginning of this review. He's a Chad amongst Chads, right? He's just a guy who dubbed himself the star of the stars of the stars, right? He's just this suave, debonair motherfucker that is good at like everything. He's kind of like Don Momotaro, except, you know, he has a lot of like social tact to him, you know? Which is funny because the actor Hideyoshi Khan, who plays Ace Ukyo Kamen Rider Geats, he originally auditioned to be Don Momotaro, but then he didn't get it, so he got Ace Ukyo instead, right? Which is like a very polar opposite, you know? Don Momotaro being the most eccentric Red Power Ranger you could ever see in a Super Sentai episode. And then we have like Geats, he's like suave, debonair, right? You know, he wears fancy clothing, right? He has the ability to smart mouth anyone he gets in his way. He is a fox, he's cunning. Don Momotaro is just, you know, he's strong, he likes a challenge, but he's not very good with social intricacies, you know? So it was very funny, right? What we know about him is that, you know, he is the constant winner of these Desire Grand Prix for a lot of the time, right? He's just been gifted with unnatural prowess to like take advantage. Well, not in a bad way, but like, you know, it's a game, right? You gotta win. And his motive is that he wants to find out more about the Desire Grand Prix because that's the key to seeing his mother, who he saw as a little boy, but only one time, and his mother left and never again. So that's why he keeps winning these Desire Grand Prix and entering these Desire Grand Prix, is to hopefully see his mom. Then we have our secondary rider, Kamen Rider Tycoon, Sakurai Keiwa. A very honest to God, earnest boy that wants to wish for the world to be at peace, right? He wants world peace. His character is that he always gets out of a job. He always loses the job, right? Even at like the job application entry point. But then fumbles because the job is like, we don't need you right now. Thanks for applying. So he's like on the hunt to be a productive member of society, while his sister is, you know, pretty much so, even though she watches Neon TV, which is Nago's or Neon Kurama's live stream. But Sakurai Keiwa is a man who wants to stop fighting, right? And will do fighting if he must to protect those that he cares for, and his wish is to, you know, resurrect those that were killed by the Jamato. Because that's one of the rules of the Desire Grand Prix, is that if you get killed off by the Jamato, it's game over, right? If you die in the game, you die in real life, right? You get retired if you don't complete the task by the Desire Grand Prix missions. And you get retired and you essentially be resetted. You have no memories of the game unless you touch the ID cores on like your driver, like what was it? There you go. What was it? Like these right here. Touch like an ID core and you pretty much remember your experiences in the Desire Grand Prix. However, if you are damaged, if you are killed by the Jamato, this ID core cracks and you are just gone. You have no life. You are pretty much dead, right? So those are like the rules, and the missions can vary between, you know, like what was it? Hide and seek or pirate game, things like that, right? Or a zombie game, something like that, you know? And Sakurai Keiwa, so far in the encounter arc, is, you know, an honest to God man that will do anything to protect those that he loves, right? This is in the encounter arc where he gets his like first form, right? Because he was just running around with different prop items like a hammer or a propeller. He gets like the ninja buckle, right? Which is an OD OD looking form. Because that's what he is. He is a ninja. And it plays back on his lore is that he loves ninjas when he was a kid. Then we have Kamen Rider Nago, or Neon Kurama, the heir to the Kurama Foundation, right? She is a spoiled, pampered princess that her mother imposes on her to like get an arranged marriage. But for Neon Kurama, she wants to have true love, right? She wants to seek out the truest of affections because she doesn't get that at home via like a controlling mother and a distant father, right? And the father is the funniest one because it's literally her father is Time Fire from Time Ranger or Power Rangers Time Force, right? So it's so fucking funny on his character in the later like arcs to come for Geats. So it's really funny to see. But she is incompetent. She asks a lot of help, right? Then she gets like, you know, female empowerment because, you know, that's the Kamen Rider shtick. She is a Kamen Rider, so she has to fend for herself. But also, you know, she has to be sweet and innocent and playful, right? We gotta have our, you know, Kamen Rider cute girl factor, right? We gotta have our main like handsome character, then we gotta have our cute character, our cute side chick heroine, right? We got like two, and that's like her and Tsurumi, the navigator of the Desire Grand Prix, and she is an important character as well, right? And then we have my favorite boy, Kamen Rider Buffa, right? Buffa is my favorite fucking character there is in Kamen Rider. Angsty, like, construction worker, right? He only enters the Desire Grand Prix to seek vengeance on those that killed his best friend, Toru, right? And my favorite buckle, right? Zombie, right? I love it. Zombie, ready, fight. Yeah, it's like a poison, like charge, like chainsaw that he does, you know. But yeah, in this encounter arc is just preliminary biographies of Kamen Rider entrance, and then we get to see new forms, right? Which is Ninja, right, for Kamen Rider Tycoon, and of course Geats because he is a Chad. And then we have Monster, right? Monster is another power-up that, because, you know, merchandise, we gotta sell them toys. And at the end of the encounter arc, Ace wins again. Excuse me. Ace wins again, right? And the world is reset, and he gets his wish, and that is living with the Desire Grand Prix management. And that means Smoothie and the Game Master, right, who is revealed to be the encounter arc's butler and provisionary staff, Griori, right? And he has a motive to off Ace from the Desire Grand Prix. And then we go into the conspiracy arc, right? Conspiracy arc is where we get to see, once again, new forms, right? We get to see Nago come back. We get to see Buffa come back. We don't preliminary see Keiwa come back because he had his like chance in the encounter arc, so he was like done at that time. But then he comes back because he's secondary rider, right? But we get to see new forms, primarily Nago's one for Beat, a new like raise buckle. We get the Fever buckle for everyone, and that is like the chance like slot right raise buckle. We get Raising Command, right, which is like everyone's like super form. So it's a fusion between like a jet slash cannon of a super form. Then we get introduced to our evil riders, right? Which is Kamen Rider Claire, who is revealed to be Griori, right? Whose reasoning is that he has access to the... what was it? What was the driver called? What was the driver called again? I forgot what it was. Oh, Vision Driver. Yeah, that's what it is. The Vision Driver, right? He becomes Kamen Rider Glare. Yeah, so those are like the new merchandise that debuted in this conspiracy arc. But aside from merchandise, there's also plot-related stuff, right? We start to see like the crackdowns of what is really the Desire Grand Prix, right? We got new characters coming into the mix, right? We have excuse me. We have a mysterious character by the name of Niram, who's associated with the Desire Grand Prix. We don't know his exact position yet later on. Oh, right, my watermelon. That's right. Alright, oh, excuse me. We got new kind of like new faces, right? Kind of, what was it? Yeah, mommy. No, bye. No, I'm fine, bye. 9 o'clock, bye. Where was I? Oh shit, I forgot. Let me look at my Kamen Rider cheat sheet. Oh yeah, plot stuff, right? Buffa dies by the Jamato, right? Because he was being overzealous. Well, not overzealous. He was being overconfident that he doesn't want to take any help. His sole dream is carried by, you know, the wish to crush all like Kamen Riders, and unfortunately he dies by a Jamato attack. And it's up to like Ace to close out the game, right? And stop like the schemings of Grigori, who's, you know, his earnest wish is for a fair Kamen Rider game without Ace involved. Grigori is the guy who wants a champion to come out other than Ace, right? He sees Ace's wishes as very trivial or very stupid, like childish, right? How is this benefiting to world peace, right? Ace has his own agendas, so he doesn't flat out say it because he is the living epitome of his Kamen Rider Geats what was it, theme. He is a fox, right? He doesn't tell shit right away, right? But he gets the help, but Geats gets the help of Tycoon Nago to throw away Griori from the game. Griori is gone, right? From the interventions of Nago, and who later is revealed Niram to be a producer of the Desire Grand Prix, right? And this is where we see a little bit of the unravelings of the Desire Grand Prix, is that it's not just a battle royale, but it's more of an entertainment show for audiences slash viewers to watch these Kamen Riders either duke it out with each other or with the Jamato. It's an entertainment business for the Desire Grand Prix, for the DGP. Yeah, we're gonna use that, DGP. So important key factors in Conspiracy is new merch, right? Keiwa coming back, Buffa dead, right? Griori, oh, there's also the other character, Punk Jack, right? Yeah, Punk Jack is the homie, right? He is a hired goon by the Desire Grand Prix to sniff out and snuff out Kamen Rider Geats. But unfortunately, he doesn't do that. You know, he gets a later revelation by Geats to be his own man and not be told what higher ups tell him to do. You know. But yeah, important keynotes. Keiwa comes back, Nago comes back, right? Buffa dies. Ace gets hunted down. He gets forcibly removed, but then comes back, you know, because Geats is a sly motherfucker. Uriori is offed, right? And the revelations of the Desire Grand Prix revealed to be an audience, right? Excuse me. And then we get the Divergence arc, right? So the Divergence arc is where really like the Desire Grand Prix really becomes an entertainment show. Ow, bit my tongue. For the masses. Excuse me. For the masses to be an entertainment show, right? So you have your usual Desire Grand Prix missions, right? Ranging from like, you know, dodgeball games or, you know, soccer / Quidditch games to just like, you know, finding the hidden Jamato or something like that, you know? And then you have like this other element in the show, right? Because since it's an entertainment show, now we have important like characters coming in, right? A new game master by the name of Shirami, right? Who is a game master to help fuel the entertainment aspect of this new season. In the show, I mean, not like new season of Kamen Rider, but a new season, right? Who is the imposter? So literally, there is like the main missions, and then there's the other hidden agenda mission of who is the imposter, right? It's literally like a game of Among Us, right? Who is the imposter? Who's sus? Who called the emergency meeting? Who's throwing shit? Who's throwing caltraps? Who's messing up with electrical? Sort of shit, right? And so here, we don't usually get like new forms, but rather just more story, elements, in the form of like new characters, right? We get Kalo, who is Daichi, arrogant esoteric fuck that his wish is that he wants to find out of humanity's memories because he is a smart know-it-all, right? And he'll use his smart advantage to pin innocent others like Keiwa, right? And then we have Lopo, a sports athlete who wishes to be forever young so that she can help out her family in financial woes, right? So we got like different Kamen Riders, only like 2 this time. But not just Kamen Riders, but different management staff, right? We get Zin, not my friend Zin, but this Kamen Rider who later becomes a Kamen Rider is spelled Ziin, right? He is a sponsor of Kamen Rider Geats, right? He is a fanboy of Kamen Rider Geats and wants to emulate like him, right? His like whole shtick is like, I want to be enthralled or excited about this Desire Grand Prix, right? Then we have other sponsors, right? In the form of a frog who sponsors Sakurai Keiwa. I think his name is oh yeah, right. His name is Kekeda. Yeah, that was it. A fucking like frog doll, like a gangster frog doll that like poses like this, right? Then do we get to see? Oh yeah, we get a little hint of the other sponsor. Oh, Kyun. Yeah, Kyun. Kyun. much is said about him, like, off like the start. He is a shrewd guy. He doesn't have exactly a lot of social tact, right? He comes off with everything snobbish to Nago, since he's revealed to be Nago's sponsor. And then we have the psychotic bitch, Beroba, who is revealed to be Buffa's sponsor, who in turn reveals that Buffa is alive. However, he's revealed to be alive due to the effects of the zombie buckle, right? And each like buckle has like different like properties, which is funny because, you know, the buckles don't really like have any other effects outside of in-game battles, right? Magnum is Magnum, which summons out like guns, right? Beat is all about, you know, instrumental like music. Ninja is Ninja for sneaking shit. But then like Zombie is like hiddenly the most powerful one because, you know, it is the zombie buckle, so you could just pretty much not die if you have that buckle with you at all times, right? You could essentially like negate like a Jamato death, which is fucking crazy, right? What else, right? Ouchie. Ah, damn, I'm like drawing blanks again. Oh yeah, what was it? Yeah. Buffa is later revealed to be alive. And he does his own participation, like he wants to get back into the Desire Grand Prix to get his wish accomplished. But sponsors prevent him from doing that, right? Especially Nita, right? Who is also revealed to be a Kamen Rider as well via the Vision Driver. He becomes Kamen Rider Gazer, and his whole shtick is that he wants the entertainment show to be a reality, right? Like I think like the whole thing about like this entertainment like DGP series is that it's a reality TV show, kind of like whatchamacallit. Like Jersey Shore or some shit like that, you know? Everybody gets like their own like boost to like talk shit about like the others or some shit. Kind of like Total Drama Island in a way. Yeah, that's a better astute estimation. Total Drama Island, you know? So a lot of things like happen in this like Divergence arc. We technically get like new merchandise, right? But in the form of like new rider forms. Oh, we get like the movie one from the crossover movie, Kamen Rider Todoroki, and that was like the power builder, right? But the only thing you can get out of like the movie is just to hype up the crossover, the interactions between Kamen Rider Revice and Kamen Rider Geats. That's all it really is. It just reveals like more of the management system, right? It reveals more of Griori, right? Before he passed away, right? Nothing too like crazy. For like Revice specifically, it's like the Revice family gets like a new sibling. And Iki dealing with, you know, his recovering memories of Vice, and then he teams up one last time for Vice, but then he has to like raid away because of like the demon contract. That was really it. But back to like the Divergence arc is that, you know, Buffa comes back and he uses a new form called Jamato, which was kind of like revealed in the Conspiracy arc. The Jamato can use like these drivers to become Kamen Riders using the Jamato Raise buckle. So Buffa uses that because he is determined to get his wish granted. And his sponsor is Beroba, and Beroba used like some scheming shit to like get the Vision Driver, and much more is revealed about the Desire Grand Prix in the sense that the Desire Grand Prix's major apparatus of granting their wishes is based on a goddess, like a goddess of fortune, who is kind of hinted to be related to Ace. But the goddess grants the wishes of those that win the battle royale, and that's how the Desire Grand Prix works, right? So not just Kamen Riders, but sponsors can also get their wish granted if they have the Vision Driver. So Beroba, for instance, steals a Vision Driver from Chirami, tries to get her wish granted but couldn't. So she says like, fuck it, change the world. And that's a funny thing about like the sponsors, is that it is later revealed in this arc that the sponsors are from the future, right? And they use like a little like anecdote that Geats makes, is that it's just like, you know, today's society looking at gladiator shows, right, in Rome. That's like that form of the audience we were seeing like old school like gladiator Rome shows is like, they don't, it's like, you know, what was it? It has some truth to those shows, but it's merely for entertainment value, right? So the sponsors come from the future to a time where, like, you know, that's not their time, but to a past like period in time to make the Desire Grand Prix, you know? But Beroba just says like, fuck it. She becomes like a Kamen Rider. So does Kamen Rider Zine with what was it? With this little trinket. And becomes Kamen Rider Zine. And every sponsor is, you know, name themselves like a Kamen Rider. Beroba, Kyun, Kekera, you know, those types of things. So Beroba just says fuck it to all. The Desire Grand Prix issues an emergency broadcast to halt whatever it is they're doing, and that where we transition to the Lamentation arc of Kamen Rider Geats, and that is the Jamato Grand Prix created by oh, right, sorry, I forgot. In the Conspiracy arc and the Divergence arc, we get one more character, and that's Archmetal, right? He is another, I guess you could say, sponsor to the Desire Grand Prix. Oh, that's it. A Jamato scientist, right? He is like a gardener, a fertilizer, yeah, let's just say he's a scientist. Archmetal is a scientist to the Jamato. He is the person who cultivates and creates Jamato. Albeit, you know, begrudgingly for the sake of the game, but he got so attached to the Jamato that he wants the Jamato to be free and just like cause chaos at wherever he may wake. At wherever the Jamato may wake, you know? So we get like Archmetal, we've seen him in the Conspiracy, and a little bit in the Conspiracy, a lot in the Divergence arc, and full force in the Lamentation arc and Yearning arc, right? But we jump into the Lamentation arc, right? And this is where we don't. Oh yeah, we see like a few like character biographies like explained, or like things that come out. What was it? Lamentation, Yearning. Oh, okay. Sorry. Just again drawing blank here. My bad. Just like looking all over. I'm bad with these like sort of like long reviews. But Lamentation arc is the start of the Yamato Grand Prix, and we get to see old Kamen Riders that were retired/dead come back, right? Kamen Rider Kalo or Daichi comes back, is part of the Yamato Goon Squad. Sides with Beroba and Archbeetle. Buffa is the star player of the Yamato, and in the Yamato Grand Prix, whoever gets their wish granted is granted by Beroba's usage of the goddess, right? So they use that, right? And so the Desire Grand Prix is like they fight back. They're trying to like fight back against the JGP, right? And we get to see some new forms, right? We get to see Kamen Rider Geats' not super form, but was it super? No, there's base, power up, super, and final form. Yeah, that was it. We get to see Kamen Rider Geats' super form, and that is Laser Boost, right? He gets like technically two super forms, which is Boost Mark II and Laser Boost. And Laser Boost is Boost just in the first one is a funny fucking thing, because it is also like a plot that Ace has different incarnations. So he's like old as fuck. But the story of like Ace is that goes back to like the Greek era of his mom, who is revealed to be the goddess of creation, right? So he's technically an all-powerful being, Kamen Rider Geats, you know? Oh, the Lamentation arc is a fun like character exploration arc where it highlights Buffa a lot because he is the star player of the JGP. It also highlights Geats getting like a power-up form. There are also some like crazy fucking revelations, especially for one character, and that's Kamen Rider Nago, right? Neon Kurama, right? So we saw her before, right? She is, you know, the playful girl. She's also very sincere and caring, you know. Before, you know, she wants to get her wish of true love granted by at any means. Like, she played like a very duplicitous role in the Divergence arc. She was almost pinned as the imposter in the last arc. Now in here we go full exploration of... Now we go full exploration with Kamen Rider Nago. As that she is not even a real person. Is just a rudimentary way of like saying it. She doesn't exist, right? Neon Kurama is not the real child of the Kurama Foundation. The real child is... Let me see. Features the debut of Suel. Oh, that was it. Akari Kurama. Yeah, she is the real daughter of the Kurama Foundation. It ties together with Neon Kurama's origins, is that Neon thought in her head that when she was little, she got kidnapped and her father didn't save her, or father or mother didn't save her. But it's later revealed, that Neon Kurama was created by the goddess of creation to fuel a depressed mother and father of the wife and husband of the Kurama Foundation, to aid their ease of guilt, and the father's ambitions, right? So Neo Kurama leaves, right, the family for good because of this revelation, right? And all orchestrated by Beroba, the psychotic bitch. Like, her whole thing is that, you know, she wants to cause misery. Like, her whole major apparatus is that she likes seeing people suffer, right? Which is, you know, I'm very goody-goody two-shoes, so I'm like, that's fucked up, you know? But, yeah, that was very, like, dark and sad, right? With Neo Kurama being, like, you know, not a real person, and just, you know, a figment of the goddess of creation's imagination, you know? So, that's fucking wild. That's like some, like, that's like some fucking, what is it? What's like a sad thing in, like, in video games, right? It's kind of like Baldur dying in, like, God of War, in a way. Oh, what was it? Not that. What's a crazy, like, sad ending? What's a crazy sad ending in video games? I'm trying to, like, think of and articulate what I can get, what I can find. Oh, it's kind of like Final Fantasy 15 in a way. Sort of, like, maybe. I don't know if that, like, relates, but, like, I'll use that as my example. But yeah, mainly speaking, the Lamentation arc is just exploring Buffa's character, right? He doesn't want to do the things that Beroba tells him to do. He just uses his words, uses Beroba as, like, a means to get his wish granted, right? And so he gets his wish granted because some of the infighting between Geats and the management staff, that, like, hey, you're using my mom to make all of these, like, wishes. Stop that. And what's more funny is that, you know, Sakurai Keiwa sort of comes to know about this and sort of, like, hates on the Desire Grand Prix. Is like, he thinks, like, Ace, I respect you, but she's the bitch responsible for making these people, like, go away, right? She has to go because, again, Keiwa's shtick is that he wants world peace and he wants to see the people that were killed off by the Jamato come back, right? He is a very ambitious boy, as many, like, Twitter people says it. He's a very honest to God, earnest boy, but he has no practical solution of how to do it, you know? And we sort of get to see, like, this, like, unraveling of Keiwa, like, later on in the arcs, right? And so that's, like, the Lamentation arc, right? Most notable things is Nago's origins, Ace's technically origins, right? Buffa comes out on top. Michinaga comes out on top. Laser boost, a fun little thing. Boost Mark 2. Buffa's, like, resolve, and then we get into the Yearning arc, right? Which is all about Geats and Buffa, right? And this is the Yearning arc where we see Michinaga Azuma or Buffa as, like, the Jama Shin, right? And that's another thing, right? If you are crowned, like, the winner of a JGP or a DGP, you are crowned the Dazashin, right? You are the king or something like that. You are the all-time winner. But Ace, like, died in the Lamentation arc, right? Because of the infighting and the opportunity that Buffa took to off, like, 2 Kamen Riders and take the glory for himself. So Buffa is the winner. And so now we get to see two merchandise reveals. Is that or two suit forms, right? Which is Buffa Jamashin form, and we get to see Kamen Rider Geats' final form, which is Kamen Rider Geats Boost Mark 9 form. And this is, you know, the form where Ace gets the omnipotent powers of a god, right? He gets to create things, and he's very slick while doing it, you know? But, yeah, like, Ace comes back from the dead by the wish of, you know, Sumuri. And this is where we get the other character revealed known as the ultimate villain, Suel, who is the orchestrator of, like, the Desire Grand Prix, and uses whatever means necessary to see his Desire Grand Prix come to fruition. And that means taking care of Geats. He doesn't like Geats. He doesn't want people fucking up management, shit like that. All that stuff, you know? Oh yeah, Kamen Rider Chirami. Yeah, that was it. Glare 2, that's right. Yeah, Beroba becomes Glare 2 and Chirami becomes Glare 2. Yeah, I forgot I rolled over that shit. But then we get to see new Kamen Riders come out, right? So the brother Keiwa enters the picture, but also the sister Sada comes back, right? So, and that was, like, you know, orchestrated by Kikera, who likes his favorite Keiwa, to come back and just be the highlight of the game. And he will use whatever means necessary to make Keiwa to be the perfect epitome of a Kamen Rider, right? He's a senile old fuck. That's what he is. Like, I liked him before, but now he's just like, he just does so much shit to, like, preserve his favorite. Fuck all the rest. I want my favorite to come out on top, you know? But Sada comes into the game. She bonds with Neon, which she already has, like, before. Jamashin Buffa takes care of Daichi, who enters the game, right? With the Yearning arc, it kind of, like, resets the Jamato illnesses that plagued Buffa and plagued Daichi, right? Which is like a very funny thing. How did they, like, reset? We don't know. But yeah, that happens. Geats and Buffa team up to defy the Desire Grand Prix for all its, like, fucked upness. Nago and Keiwa are, like, the sole, like, protectors of the Desire Grand Prix, because even though the management system of the DGP can be, like, fucked up, they still want their wishes granted. One more so for their desires, and the other for just protecting his sister, and wants to bring back everybody, you know, even if it's, like, fucked up origins, right? But we get to see new characters like Sada becoming a Kamen Rider, Suel. We get to see Ace being, like, the final form rider, right? Geats Mark 9, Boost Mark 9. I'm still waiting to get that, like, final form, man. Once I get money, I'm like, oh, baby girl. Ooh, baby girl. And then the world is reset, and Ace becomes the god of creation and makes his own Desire Grand Prix. And that's where we get into the creation arc, which is the final arc. So we get to see our secondary boy's final form, and that is the Bujin Sword. Kamen Rider Tycoon Bujin Sword, right? And how it happened is because you know, everything has been reset because of Ace, but we get asshole McGee, Kalo or Daichi being the new Archmetal, because in the past Archmetal stays around because, you know, the Jamato won, but he gets eaten by his own creations, and who's left to pick up the scrap? Daichi, who lost by Buffa, and will surely rue the day that they crossed him, right? He's a conniving motherfucker at first, because he'll do what any means necessary to win / to come out on top, even like tricking innocents or some people that are dumber than him, you know? So fucked up. Whatever it takes to win, right? But in the creation arc, we see Daichi come back and he becomes a Jamato himself, and he's a Jamato scientist himself. And he uses the Jamato to create a tree that stores all of humanity's memories. And he's a conniving motherfucker that this is how it's related to Keiwa getting his final form, because everybody in Twitter roots for Keiwa to like come out on top, and we all want to see Keiwa see how he looks, because it was rumored to have a final form. So how does he get it, right? You know, Keiwa is a hypocritical son of a gun, right, who dreams of world peace but has no practical solution behind it, right? And that gets further awakened in the creation arc, where he gets the jet black shogun form, right, to get a Bujin sword form, but it is done in the most weirdest of plot reasoning, right? Daichi becomes a scientist, a Jamato scientist. Daichi kidnaps Sada, injects her with Jamato disease, tricks Buffa to fight Sada. Buffa kills, quote unquote, kills her. Keiwa comes in the nick of time to see Buffa off Sada, and that's how Keiwa becomes Bujin sword. Because he saw his only family die in front of him, right? And Ace kind of like knew about it, because he was doing some investigations with Sumuri on like, why is the Jamato acting so funky? And Ace deduced that it was Daichi, but, and this is where I got like a lot of flack on like Twitter, or like a lot of reasoning on like Twitter, or like kind of like a small fight with someone on like Twitter, is that, yeah, why didn't like Ace tell like Buffa and Keiwa of the whole like Daichi situation, right? I mean, like he could have, right? But at the end of the day, I just said it was just like writing, right? And I mean, I know that's like a bad fucking excuse, right? Because, you know, you can't like write off characters. There has to be, you know, like some proper papers due sort of thing, right? But, you know, I look at it as like, yeah, that's very weird to like drop that bomb on us viewers. But at the same time, we're at like what, episode 41, right? At the time, we have to get out like these toys. We can't think of like a more efficient, more effective way to tell viewers of this Kamen Rider season to tell, okay, Keiwa's an interesting character. It was hinted that he's got like an evil version of himself from like the crossover movie, right? We all want to see how he becomes like fucking Darth Vader, right? This is literally like an Anakin Skywalker to a Darth Vader situation. How does he do that? By tricking Keiwa to seeing his sister die by Buffa through the machinations of Beroba and Kekera, right? The scheming fucks, for Keiwa to become the Jet Black Shogun, to become Kamen Rider Bujin Sword. And I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm like, I mean, okay-ish. It's not great, but it is, you know? You know, it's like, that's how we have to roll with it. Like, what the fuck? You know? Like, I get it. It's like a weird, like, point A to point B type of like thing for Keiwa to get like his final form. But there could have been like other ways to do it, you know? I thought it was okay, right? The scheming machinations of, you know, Kekara and Beroba orchestrating like their own schemes. One wants misery, other wants their favorite rider to come out on top. So I get that. But still, it was a lot of like confusion, a lot of like, you know, just why? Just why? It could have been so much better. But anyway, Keiwa gets his own wish granted, right? Defeats Geats finally, gets his own world where own wish granted, where everybody comes back, including criminals, right? And that's like the lofty ideals of a young man who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, right? He wishes for world peace. That's why everybody says Keiwa is a hypocrite, because, you know, he wishes for world peace. He wishes for everybody to come back, but he doesn't think far ahead of what that wish could mean, right? So his wish is to bring everybody back. Like, his most earnest wish is to bring his family back because, you know, like, he doesn't have a mother and father. He is on the hunt for a job. He's a down at luck kid. And Sada is the provider, technically, right? So seeing his one family die in front of him causes him to snap and lets go of all, like, inhibitions and becomes like Bujin's sword, and he gets his wish granted. But that wish also extends to, you know, past Kamen Rider criminals coming back, right? So we get to see that school shooter son of a bitch come back, Dapan. We don't get to see Mary come back. Funny. Get to see old criminals come back. And that's the world that Keiwa wished for. So it's crazy how he just like went from uppity yucketer to, you know, Darth Vader, and then went back to Anakin Skywalker. It's a whole like Skywalker saga for this bitch, you know. And of course, not just with Keiwa, but Neon gets like her power from because she's technically considered the third rider. And I was hoping for Michinaka Azuma to become like to get like his final form, but he doesn't. It's saved for a V Cinema, right? Which is like, oh my god, my god. But we get to see Timefire arrested, losing his wits, right? The DGP is under flak, right? So he comes back, becomes a Kamen Rider, which is like what the actors wish, funny enough. He becomes Gyago, and that is a point A to point P, but done well for Neon. So Neon becomes Kamen Rider Nago Fantasy, right? Which is a better look for her than Beat. I mean, Beat is still like a good form, but Fantasy is what's up, you know? Oh, God. So in this creation arc, everybody like outside of Geats gets their moment, right? Keiwa gets his moment. Buffa gets his moment. He gets like 2 moments, killing off Beroba and also reconciling with Keiwa because he's the one that quote-unquote killed Sada. And then Sada like comes back by, you know, quote-unquote interrogating / reforming Daichi. Nago gets her moment. And then we get like an introduction of the new DGP staff, and it's also revealed that Sumudi is the next goddess of creation, right? The management, who is Geat, which is funny enough because the new management officer in this arc is the actor who plays the live-action version of Sasuke in the one like stage play that Naruto had, right? Which is funny enough. And what else? Suel comes back. I don't know how. Punk Jack comes back and is later reformed. Geats technically dies again, right? And gotta look back at my notes a bit. Yeah, Sumudi passes on her goddess of creation powers to Ace. Ace fights Geat. That's the new management. It is revealed that Samus was not partnered up with Nidan, but in league with Suel. And everybody gets like the big fight with against like Suel, and Ace fully dies. So he had to die because there was the black Sumudi. There's a white Sumudi and a black Sumudi. The white Sumudi is the good one. The black Sumudi was the one created by the management to fuel their end game. And so black Sumudi possessed white Sumudi to kill Ace. But yeah, Suel becomes like Kamen Rider Regard Omega, where he merges with the fucked up audience members, right? And that was like hinted at the Yearning and the Creation arcs, is that the audience members really are like a play on real life reality shows. That this season looks at the theme of toxic audiences, that they want to see, I want to see this bitch die, or I want to see this bastard die, you know? I like seeing them getting chokehold. You know, like a lot of thematics play. We'll probably get to that like after the spoiler stuff. But yeah, like Suel merges with the audience to become Regard Omega. He literally has powers that's like Kamen Rider Chronicle from X8. Pause and rewind shit. But in the end, right, all of the Kamen Riders, Buffa reformed, Keiwa reformed, Nago getting a boost in power up and confidence, all try to take down Suel and believe that Ace will help us out, and their wishes come true. Ace and the rest of the crew defeat Suel, but Ace kind of like kills Suel by possessing him in the same manner that Suel possessed Geat, or is it like vice versa? I always forget how like Geat like offs himself, you know, or something like that, right? But yeah, like that just fucking happened, and everybody resumes back without a DGP. Jean comes back, requests Sumudi to make a new Desire Grand Prix. Ace is now literally a god. Like, he died to become a god, and he now has a shrine. He's not the star of the star of the stars, but he's more of a god that whoever wants to get their wish granted, put it up at the Ace shrine. And everybody gets back into their normal lives, but now like reformed. Keiwa looking for a job while still being a Kamen Rider. Nago doing more Neon TV live streams with her producer Kyun, and and technically a ship. Find my real Prince Charming, who is Kyun. Buffa gets more social with his construction worker officers. Punk Jack becomes a rocker. Daichi wishes for the Jamato and humans to coexist. And yeah, that was it. And then we get a tease of the next Kamen Rider, which is Gotchard. But yeah, that's Geats in a nutshell, right? Really fucking fun. A lot of like themes like play, a lot of like character dynamics are fully like explored in this one, which I think, you know, don't get like explored like in past seasons. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, there's like a few, but like this season is nothing but just, you know, character highlights, no pun intended, the series. And of course the thematics of like, you know, game shows / entertainment shows, you know, revealing like the toxic side of those like systems, right? How we talked about, you know, toxic audiences / viewers. It literally like just comes into play. But yeah, this was like a fun season, right? I dug like a lot of like the characters here. Some like instances of like plot of like how Keiwa becomes how Keiwa gets its like final form is like iffy at best. Yeah, mommy, coming. Iffy at best, but it was cool, you know? Like it's cool seeing like these final forms like fleshed out. And again, we're not like reviewing like the crossover movie or the summer movie, right? Because, you know, crossover movies are just there to hype up like the Avengers style of Kamen Rider shows, and the summer movie is just, you know, an extra show, some like plot relevance, but it's like it's there to like hype up the next Rider tease sort of thing, you know. There's going to be V cinemas after the series, which is going to be on Kamen Rider Buffa, right? Who gets like finally his power-up form, but it's in a V cinema. It's not in like in the main show, right? Which is really fucked up. Can't wait to like watch that though and give like some reviews. But for the most part, Geats was a fun ride, right? I definitely like dug it. You know, I love like the characters. I love the arcs that it goes through. Love like, you know, how I'm like attached to like these characters, you know. So it was a really fun season. I really like dig it, and I'm gonna be like watching this again with my cousins in Bangladesh, Safa and Marwa. And they're on like what, episode 25, right? So they got like on the halfway mark, because the later half of like these episodes we were supposed to like finish these episodes, but the later half came at around, you know, my grandma in the hospital and passed away. So we couldn't have a lot of time just like sit down and just watch these episodes. Hopefully we'll get to that maybe like tonight, you know? But I'm getting them into like Geats, and they really love Kamen Rider shows. Like they watched Revice, they watched Saber. I didn't get them to watch 01, but they are on their track to watch Geats. They finished what was it, Zenkaiger. I want them to get into Dawn Brothers, but you know, with their schedule and like their learning lessons, it's like I don't think they like have time for anything. But still, it's fun to like watch it with them. Like it gives me a lot more hindsight to watch it with them. Gives me more insight to just like, oh, this is cool. You know, I'm learning a lot from these shows, you know. But yeah, it was a fun ride of Kamen Rider Geats, and next week we're going to be reviewing the first episode of Gotchard. Shouldn't take this long, like this recording, right? Because we stumbled and fumbled around like a little bit, but hopefully it won't be that big, you know. yeah, we just finished Geats, and I know King Orchard is still going, which is, you know, this is like the first time that a Sentai show has done this, right? Because, you know how in a Sentai or a Power Ranger show, they keep like their own universe, their own timeline intact? Well, in King Orchard is that after like Geats ending, they are now going to go into a 2-year like time skip, right? Canonically in the show. So now you're going to see characters like aged up by next week of September. So that's really fucking sick. That's the first time a Sentai show has ever like done this, and they're going to bring back Kyoryuger, right? Or Kyoryu Red, which is, that's fucking wild. So that's crazy. But it was just so much fun just watching Geats through and through. I love like the toys. I love the action figures, or like the, I should get like the action figures, man. I gotta like start doing that, you know? But yeah, that was Geats. It was a fun time. So if you're like a big fan of Kamen Rider, or Kamen Rider Seasons that does a lot of like character in-depth exploration, like has like the thematics, has like no gimmick like thematics on their henshin devices or stuff like that, or even like if you like games that are inspired by real life video games, right? Like Apex Legends or entertainment shows or something like that, this is a good season for you, right?